go to jail report, Justin Hall.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
I'll start off going over our jail statistics just so we can go over that real quick. Currently, right now, we have 109 inmates in-house. 95 of those are males, 14 of those are females. You probably noticed that the female count is down from the last time. It got to what I would consider a dangerous level, so I had to send out some of our state females to 2 other county jails to make that a safer work environment for not only...
Why is that, Justin? Because for the last 4 years, we had that, not that amount, and we never sent none out, so how come?
I can't walk inside a dorm and somebody's having a heart attack or an overdose or something. I mean, I can't.
Buck, I guess he did it, right?
We had an incident 2 weeks ago where a lady was overdosing and pretty much had to stumble over people to try to get help to her. So I'm not gonna put our jail in that situation, so I sent them out. I mean, the safety of that jail is my #1 priority. And if I think it's too full, I'm gonna send the inmates out. But my goal is to keep our state inmates above 40. If you look on the report, there's 45 state inmates that we have. We're currently making $1,590.30 a day from those right now. And so our female overcapacity is 75%, male overcapacity is 1.06%, and facility is overcapacity by 6.86%. So I just weigh safety and options on it. You know, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time, and if I see something that's going to be a danger to our staff or who's incarcerated in there, because I got to take care of them too. We just don't have the room for it. So right now, state inmates are good. We're at right there, and the population is manageable, I should say. So that's kind of where I'm at with that as far as that goes. I guess next, Judge, you want to go on the body scanner discussion? Or Keith, you have anything else, sir?
No.
Okay.
Now on that first page, you still on page 1 here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that smoke test?
Yeah, smoke test, yeah, Brad, he came down to the jail and we did our smoke test at the jail, it passed. I smelled like a smoke bomb for 2 days, but other than that, we were in good shape, so everything.
It's basically about the ventilation.
Yeah, the ventilation.
There's been some questions about that in the past.
So how that works is you gotta set a smoke bomb off in a cell. The smoke evac system's supposed to come on within 2 minutes. Then you have 20 minutes for the cell to be cleaned out where I can see the back wall, and I gotta certify that. So make sure that the smoke is out. It's more about getting your inmates to a safe spot and then getting them back in the cell safely. So we do that twice a year, and I go over to certify that, and it did work very good this time.
Yeah, it worked good. We tried 2 different units, didn't we, Brad? And both of them
We
worked.
always do one in the female cells. I pick the furthest away from the smoky back that I can, and I do the same thing in the male. So I'm picking what I would call the furthest away from the thing to make sure it works. It's important. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
important that it works.
Yeah, it's a life safety issue.
Before you go to that scanner, you gonna go over this first page report?
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, I'll go over it real quick. Just for notification of the court, I've been really going over our budget as hard as I can to try to save us money. We got a renewal for Southern Health Partners for our medical service at the jail is $131,000. I proceeded to check with the county attorney since that's professional service. It does not require a formal bidding process, so I hit what I call the big 4 at all the county jails in the state and asked for a proposal. Currently, right now, I have a proposal for the same type of service that we're getting now. That's going to save $12,055.36 per year. The difference in this proposal versus the other ones, there's no per diem charge. Right now, our current provider, they'll bid out at, let's say, 110 inmates. If we go over 110, they tack on extra price. So right now, this provider, if we have 110 inmates or we have 150, the price stays the same. So I project that's even going to save a little more. Another issue that I've had, and when I first got into office, I was dead set on trying to make everything that we had work between the means, and I've crunched the numbers, and I've looked at kind of what we got right now, and I'm asking the court to allow me to actually do a bid on the food service at the jail. I I've tried to get it down to to me, it was reasonable. I got talking to other jailers. We're spending about 50 cents more a tray than what we should be right now. And I was gonna keep it what it was, but, by the looks of it, I'm gonna be able to cut $63,072 off our food bill, a year. So I'm asking the court for a motion to start the bidding process on the food.
I'll make a motion.
Second. So, motion from Leader and second by Wheatley. Any discussion?
One question about the medical. You said it didn't have to be bid out. We bid that out the last time.
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't it have to be bid out?
It's a professional service.
What came before fiscal court the last time, how come it don't have to this time?
I will direct that to our county attorney who I checked with beforehand.
There's a KR statute and there's a provision in the administrative code. There's certain very limited exceptions as far as it comes to bidding, and one of those exceptions is professional services. Medical services would fall under that umbrella, because obviously you've got to have a professional who can be doing that work. I can email out if anybody wants to take a look at those particular provisions.
Yeah, I don't think it's wrong to bid them out, but you don't have to. That's what I'm saying, that's what
Mhm. Well, if y'all want to make a motion for me to just satisfy that, if y'all want to make a motion for me to do a formal bid. Oh, okay, hold on, yeah, do this one first.
On the floor, any more discussion? One more discussion, I got a little question. On the savings of the 63 and the 12, or not the 12, the 63 on the food service, what line or where is that? Is that coming off just your bottom line?
It's coming
Overall?
off the bottom line, but basically I factored in the food cost plus the staff that we're paying at the jail. Now, we did have a staff member that just retired. I have not filled that spot currently. So right now we're paying a full-time deputy plus a part-time deputy to cover those days off.
Just for food service?
That's for food service. And of course, the part-time part would go away, and the full-time, we'd be able to utilize another spots on it. So from my last calculations, 33 cents of that was personnel costs. And so it looks, so if you don't factor in the personnel costs, you're looking at 15 cents a tray times that by.
Well, I'm asking there, just,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
expecting to see a 33% reduction off of personnel hires, basically, which I don't think you're going to
Yeah,
be
right.
letting anybody go.
Right.
So I don't know what realization of savings. On paper, I understand what you're talking about,
Mhm.
but as far as realistic savings, I'm not sure that 63
Realistic
is high.
savings, if you don't factor in the staff, it's probably 15 to 20 cents per trade. If you factor in the staff, you're looking at about 50 to 55 cents.
Well, how much is that gonna change that 63,000?
By 40%.
I think, this is just a motion to allow them to bid, we still get
Yeah.
final approval, so we'll see the numbers when they come back.
Right.
Any more questions? Motion approved.
Say aye.
I say it back and forth, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion's approved.
All right, since we brought the medical stuff, if you all would like to go through the formal bidding on the medical, I'm not opposed to that. If y'all want to make a motion to do formal bidding on medical, y'all go ahead and do it and I'll get it done.
I don't see no reason for
You
it.
said you already checked with the 4 existing providers.
I've already checked with the 4 providers. The provider right now that's winning in the proposals that I have is used by a third of the jails in the state. So it's not like somebody's just out of the.
Can you show me that on a piece of paper where?
I can email it to everybody.
Okay,
I'll email you all 4 proposals I got.
yeah.
Existing contract ends when?
There's a 60-day out.
Okay.
There's a 60-day out. And they gave us a renewal or whatever, and they added their 3%, it was 131.
Okay.
This provider right here is 119.80.
And their contract length is this 60 days?
Yeah, 60-day out. Mhm.
The new ones?
Yeah, and I had the county attorney review it. The contracts pretty much almost mirror each other, almost exactly.
I mean, I'd be in favor of go ahead and doing the change. If it doesn't work out, we can always rebid within 60
Yeah.
days and move forward from there.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. Went to laundry, we're switching some chemicals up there. It's gonna save us $1,095 a year. The approved fees we approved last month, they were flipped on. They finally got hard coded in the system. I told everybody it'd take a little bit to get that in there. Moving parts, they were flipped on yesterday. So I'm hoping in a month I'll be able to give you all some hard numbers on kind of what we're taking on it. So look forward to that. Pay My Jailer, the collection fee company, signed an agreement with them that we talked about with them, so they're actually gonna be collecting that. Also on the commissary, I was looking at our commissary too. Currently, right now, the way it's set up is, as a matter of fact, I have them right here. Currently, right now, the jail makes a canteen order, and whatever the bill comes in, we pay checks to fiscal court to reimburse. So it's technically a wash. And right now, I was looking at overtime, I was looking at some issues and stuff that came to light and whatnot, and it's in best interest of the jail that for the commissary, I signed yesterday to subcontract it out. So basically what's gonna happen, the inmates are gonna order on the kiosk, what they want, it's gonna get dropped, delivered to the jail. Deputies are gonna pass it out, they're gonna hand us a check. There's not gonna be a deputy going back filling orders, because it's using up like 20 to 40 hours worth of deputy time. And there's also some other issues that I'm working with the tech provider, and I'm all about openness and honesty and everything else in court. And some stuff that should have been done on the commissary and stuff, because like I say, if you are aware of what happened 2 years ago with a previous employee, it's still going on, that there's still some issues there that I found, and currently right now they're getting worked through. We're getting the entire books reran for 2 years right now. So
This would take it completely out of your all's hands.
absolutely.
And put it into a third-party
Mhm.
company that does that.
Right. And there was stuff that came to light about a week and a half ago that wasn't
So
necessarily.
is this company gonna pay for the stuff and it don't come through fiscal court anymore? For the
Well,
company,
yeah, that line item be gone.
canteen will be gone.
Canteen will be gone. Yes, sir. So
So what kind of security we have on the people that are bringing this stuff in?
it's all, like I say, they're in 17 states. Their warehouses are all cameraed up, background checks on the people that's filling the bags. They're filled in certain areas to where the people that works wouldn't necessarily know who's in there. I'm pretty sure whenever they go to scan, it just gives them an order number. They go and they fill it. So really, at the end of the day, they don't know who it's going to till it actually gets to the end where they mark it, So basically, the person doing the picking is not the person doing the shipping.
Well, I got another question.
Yeah.
On this $350,000 that you got
Mhm.
from this fund, and you said at your discretion to spend, fiscal court has to approve your budget. I have no idea, none, me personally. Like if you sell a phone in jail, how much money do you make off that phone? Every
A
3
phone?
months.
I don't sell any phones at the jail.
Or phone cards or whatever they are,
Mhm.
where they can text out to people.
Mhm.
I don't know. I.
Right. No, I
I'd just
get
like
you.
to get educated on, because I'm.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And maybe every 3 months you could educate all of us and show us what this fund is making. I found out, like you said, you got $350,000 in there to spend at your discretion.
Mhm.
And you act like it's no cost to taxpayers' money, but taxpayers' money bought the product for
What-
you to make the money on it. I know,
There's the checks, there's no, I don't know, this got brought up in December, and Buck explained it, that it's reimbursed. My first fiscal court meeting, I got asked about it, and I've explained it, and I'd rather get it hashed out now. If anybody's got questions about the canteen fund,
Well, the first-
I wanna get them hashed out, because
Is there a budget on the canteen?
yes, there is, there's a line.
Is it only given to us once a year, is it given?
It is basically a projected of what's gonna get spent, and it's a wash. It's the same on the expense, it's the same on the revenue. It's basically the bill.
Is there a way of getting a canteen report with your jail report each month?
I don't know that that's required,
I'm not asking
but it's not required. I have to turn in to the treasurer, but, I have to turn
You
it
said
to,
you wanted to be open with all of us, so
I want to know, what the reason we're asking is, we're okay with you spending the money.
Mhm.
We just want to make sure the flow of money is what it needs to be.
I don't have a problem with that necessarily, but it kind of gets in. I feel like that I'm trying to use the commissary funds and stuff to kind of betterment the jail. I'm not going out and buying stuff like I'm getting, like the cleaning machine. I didn't go to fiscal court and say, hey, I need to buy a cleaning machine. I went and got a cleaning machine. And so that's fine, but it seems like every fiscal court meeting, it seems like it gets drilled down. So I mean, I want to be open. I'll give you all whatever y'all want. There's nothing to hide down at the jail whatsoever. But at the same time, it just seems like there's been a lot of emphasis on that. So I mean, if that's what y'all want, I'll be more than happy to provide that, you know, because we do have to provide a report once a year to the treasurer, but I'll be more than happy to do that.
Well, if we have to approve your budget, I just think we should be educated.
And I'm all for education. I will sit down with every one of y'all, go over everything. Y'all can come down to the jail, look at our books. You can look at our bank statements. There's nothing there for me.
If you can do it every court meeting, just show us on your thing, put it on in your report right here, just add a page to this. Is that what you're asking for?
Yeah, we're not questioning what you spend it on.
Right.
We want you to spend it.
Yeah.
We
No,
just
we
want to
want
know.
the second.
No, I get
We do
it.
that each month, you know, that's why I was asking
Mhm.
if it's a once-a-year report, that thing's gonna be a.
Yeah, it
ball
is.
field.
It is, right.
Once a month, pretty easy, even if it's a month.
What would
even if it's a
y'all
month.
consider decent on it? Would y'all consider balance
How
and,
much you make on a packet of M&Ms, what I want.
yeah, is that right?
I don't need to know what you, I mean. if you-
Would y'all want to know balance, revenue generated, and expenditure? Would those three line items do it?
Well, and if your expenditure, but if you're buying a machine for 5,000 that you don't need our approval, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing what you're spending, just so we
Yeah.
kind of know when people ask me, hey, what's the jail doing? This is what you're doing with it. I think that's a good
Transparency,
thing.
thing.
Yeah, we talked about commissary fund in open court, and I've had several questions about it, because it's not something the general public was familiar with.
Right, that's right.
And I've had several questions.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of, they said, hey, the slush fund this guy's got.
But it's not just me, it's every county jail in the state has one.
Well,
you know?
8 years ago, or 4 years ago, it came back to fiscal court. Everything was down, 4 years.
Mhm.
This 350,000 that you got now, it came to fiscal court 8 years ago.
We'll go check back, but just took it on the line.
Well,
Yeah, that's
if you look at your back page, very back page, I provide y'all the Kentucky state law on commissary funds. That's chapter 441.135. And I don't think I'm gonna bore y'all with reading it, but basically, just to summarize, all profits from canteen shall be used for the benefit to enhance the well-being of prisoners or to enhance the safety and security within the jail. Jailer shall keep a book of accounts, all receipts, disbursements from the canteen, and shall annually report to the county treasurer on the canteen account. There's nothing in here that says send back to fiscal court.
Well, I got the last 3 years of your audit, and
I've only been in office a month, Keith.
well, the last 3 years of the jail audit, and, you know, there has been some violation on the commissary.
That's why I'm making these changes now and letting y'all know, because I'm sure commissary's not come up in general conversation. That's why we're having this discussion now, because I want to fix all this stuff so that way there's no issue. Basically, there's a check that comes in, there's expenses that go out, it's in a book, it's right there, and it's open and shut.
Jessica, you got, she wants to comment.
Go ahead.
Well, the thing is that nothing has really changed with the canteen account. All the years that Keith's been on the court, it's been there. And you're right, the money did go back to fiscal court. That was illegal that went back to fiscal court. All that money doesn't get to go back to fiscal court. That money is for the benefit of the inmates' welfare and safety.
And I think we spent that by.
And we paid for a county employee's salary that didn't even have anything to do with the jail. Why are we turning over $180,000 to fiscal court when that wasn't what it was supposed to be for? You didn't have any questions back then. Now we're trying to make sure we're doing everything the way we're supposed to do it, and you have all these questions that why aren't we giving you the money? Because we're not
I didn't say
supposed
give
to.
the money, I said I'd like to have a report. Since we have to okay your budget, I just want a report on what's been spent.
You said we should give back. We used to give back all the money every year. We
No, I
did,
didn't
and that
say
was
I said
illegal.
4
Yes, you
years
did say
ago.
that.
I said 4 years ago it was given back to Fiscal. That's what I said.
Right.
Okay.
Now you're saying you didn't say that. You did just say
You said
that.
every year. I didn't say it. I said 4 years ago.
You're saying before Buck came in, when Dorcas was there, yes, the money went back, all of it went back to fiscal court every year, and it should not have. And when
I'm
Buck
not
came
suggesting.
in,
I
we
just
wanted
want
to
open bank.
request the
I've had
money
several
back
questions
that
about it.
shouldn't have been paid.
I'm talking to Justin now.
All right, that's good.
Yeah,
You sure, just dismiss me, that's rude.
okay. But just get us something to where we can have it,
Okay.
when I go out to my little spots.
Mm-hmm.
What's this slush fund they're talking about, Keith? And I just want to get educated.
Okay,
Thank you.
that's no
You
problem.
basically can just give us, what you're buying, just like he bought that cleaning machine, $5,000, it saves the fiscal court money in the long run. At the end of the day, it saves us money, in my opinion, but just kind of update it, and then Dustin will work it out. and
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with it. All right, anything else?
Nothing else. Anybody got anything else?
Yeah,
Body scan.
the body scan.
Oh, yeah, we need to talk about that. Real quick. So I met with the jail inspector. I met with, a company that pretty much has the contract for the state, pretty much, or basically the distribution for the body scanner situation. We was looking at two different body scanners. We was looking at, the first one we was looking at was about 120,000. It just scans from probably my lower abdomen to right about here. And there's another scanner that's a full-blown scanner that does from head to toe. And it's about $50,000 more. Now, the smaller one, that's 120,000, no modification to the jail. The bigger one will require our booking counter and stuff to be revamped a little bit, kind of cut out, just a little bit and stuff like that. So we're looking at about 130,000 versus 200,000 on that. Of course, the goal hasn't changed on using grant money, using canteen money to pay for this and whatnot. I spoke with our jail inspector. He made the recommendation that we go ahead and get the head-to-toe body scanner. So that's kind of where we're at with that. They came down and measured and stuff, and especially with us firing up these work crews and stuff that's getting ready to start at the end of the month. I'm really going to try to spend some time and get some grant information out, because I really want this sooner than later, and I don't want us to spend tax dollars to do it, like I promised before, so I'm going
But I recommend to the court study, and I don't know how much information on that is, get the one that's, what I say, it's not top of the line, but it's a good one, head to toe, so we won't miss out on any safety wise. And then, he's gonna work with, Jan. I think Jan's got, there's another list you sent me on that possible grant, but we gotta research and hopefully we can find some money for it. If not, he's agreed to take it out of his slush fund.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm telling you, with us taking inmates out, that's gonna be important.
Yes, I agree.
The reality of it is, I can't keep an eye on him every second.
Yeah.
Or her, whoever it is.
The additional funding for to change the booking counter around, is that gonna be billed as part of the installation?
That would be part.
Or is that something?
Well,
that
it's
we'll
going to be
do?
two separate. It's going to be two separate. Now, what we're doing, our booking counter is what you've been in there. Our booking counter is wide open. So if we redo the booking counter, it's going to be smaller and it's going to have a security cage on it. The adding of the security cage will allow the commissary account to be used to purchase the actual new booking counter. So it can be used for both.
Right, what I'm saying is if, in the purchase of the body scanner and the paying to install that, is revamping the counter, the booking counter part of that?
No,
Or
it's
is that
separate.
something separate?
It's separate, yeah. But they would kind of have to go hand in hand.
Right.
Mhm, yeah.
How much do you estimate that might be?
I'm estimating 10 to 15,000 for, if we're gonna use part of the booking counter we already have, kind of revamp it. 10 to 15,000 for the
Is it
counter.
back in the back where you come in at? Is that
Well, when you come in right there, that counter that kind of does like the horseshoe loop.
Yeah.
Basically, if we make that a square or put that towards the side of the wall and kind of revamp it, the scanner will fit right there in the corner, and it'd actually be a little bit more secure.
Are you talking about the big one?
The big one, yeah, the big one. And so, it's gonna cut down on our issues.
I agree with Judge.
So I'm all for it. Like I said, I'm hoping in 6 months from now or whatever, we got some serious, I'm hoping it's there in 6 months, so.
I guess my train of thought here is, if we're trying to wait on a grant, and Jan may be able to answer this, if we purchase this thing now, getting reimbursed for a grant's gonna be tough, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of grants aren't reimbursed.
Yeah. So the time frame has got us, if we want to push it, do we go ahead and spend the canteen money to get it and require the safety and start this program with the inmates and all that? Or do you want to try to wait? But that grant could probably take, you think a year.
Sometimes they can.
Yeah.
Depends on that grant cycle.
That's where we're at, kind of in between the rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
If
What do you
we want-
I personally don't think we have a year. The amount of drugs and stuff that we're confiscating off people that's coming from the outside, is at an all-time high, in my opinion. It's
So what do you have in your slush fund today?
Well, the last number I gave y'all was 350. I don't know where it is today. I haven't seen the new statement.
So you don't have no problem using that and purchasing this machine and the fiscal?
No, because it needs to be.
And really technically, we don't even have to approve it.
No.
Well, it's anything over, even though it's
Bidding
been under commissary,
process.
the bidding process, which you
Yeah.
guys already approved on. But in the act of transparency, I want everybody's opinion on it before we go make this huge
I
investment.
understand, yeah. So we bring this up and vote on it at the next meeting? That's what I want to do.
Okay.
Let everybody cipher it and get all the information we
Well, I think
can.
if Justin's done the research on it and you think it's valuable.
I'm in
and
favor of the
What's it called,
full
it's getting
body.
ready to start, I'd say go on, you're probably a month out of getting it,
Mhm.
at
Well,
least.
no, no, no.
If you gotta make the changes to the booking counter, you
Yeah.
gotta.
Yeah. Matter of fact, they're coming, I'm getting bids on that right now. They're need to be down to jail at noon.
Well, I'd say
So we
go
don't
on and get it.
actually know what that's gonna cost then?
No, that's a rough estimate, so
Yeah.
that's,
We may
That's all
need-
right.
You have to move wiring, you have to move.
well, I'm gonna do all the wiring. I can do all that, the computer wiring. I'm not an electrician, but all the network wiring stuff, I'm
Make sure you get
gonna do all
a
that.
permit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, what I suggest is because of that, because you don't know what the cost of that's gonna be, and then you get all that information, bring it back to the next court. Everybody good with that? So
I'll have it all.
2 more weeks, we can wait 2 more weeks?
Either that or go on and order it and we can cancel it if it ain't here, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I was saying, you can buy the scanner now, right? We don't, I mean, you can order that now.
Yeah.
Do we need a motion to order that?
Not really.
No.
He can
Well,
do
here's
it.
a-
He's done the research on it.
Yeah, I've done, but,
But it exceeds our
No,
spending limit.
it's
on it.
above, it ain't with us. It's-
Yeah, if he's buying it out of the canteen
You
fund,
still
I'll
got,
bet that
I'm
has
like, you
to do
still
it.
go over 30,000, can you?
what's that, I checked on it. For this right here,
Yeah.
I do have to do the 2-week bid on it. But already, pretty much it's kind of one of them things where, there's only so many people that make it, and only so many people that sell it in our area to service.
So we don't have the 2-week bid yet then?
No, we
Oh,
don't.
well, we
Because
need
I
to
was
do
wanting to
that.
have this conversation first.
Gotcha, yeah. So
So-
we need to do that.
Well, then we would do it just,
Yeah, that's what I tried to tell you.
I know you did. I'm a little hard-headed.
Is everybody good?
I'm good.
All right, thank you, Jim.
I think
Appreciate
that's
it.
a good
Thank you.
discussion for everybody, I think.